County. Even though you guys are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, it appears that the worst of the weather will continue to be out to the west and southwest of that township there. Magnolia, this very well could move directly into your region in about 20 minutes. So heavy rain, certainly. Lightning, yes. We'll have to watch and see if this storm holds together as far as the hail potential is concerned. Speaking of hail, let's take a look at the hail tracker. And I'm going to turn off the lightning so we get a better idea as to what's going on here. There we go. So right now, according to radar, we're picking up about 1.5 inch size hail out there towards the Klein area. And keep in mind, we have a very hot atmosphere. And a lot of the hail that's being picked up by the radar is actually melting before it reaches the surface. That's why you've got big hailstones in the clouds. They fall down, a lot of melting going on. And by the time they reach the surface, it's down to a pea size, or maybe it's down to marble size. So still, certainly a strong storm. Any storm that produces hail is obviously very strong. And you can see where that hail core is, just getting ready to cross over 99 in the general direction, once again, Tomball. You guys continue to come up in conversation because this storm is headed directly for your area. By the way, there's Bush Intercontinental Airport right there, and look at that. You've got hailstones beginning to show up there on the radar near Bush Airport. That is why they have that ground stop in effect there at the big airport. So if you are headed out this evening from the north side, you may not be going anywhere anytime soon, thanks in part, again, to that ground stop at the big airport. Not a whole lot going on at Hobby at this time. Flights running normal there. But again, it's that big airport where we're running into problems as this weather continues to be pretty nasty on the north side. So let's turn on the radar once again into the mode that you're used to seeing. And there you go. So, again, Klein, Willowbrook, all the way over to Aldine, Bush Airport picking up some heavy rain. And let me turn on the watches and warnings. And there you go. Don't forget we have that aerial flood advisory in effect until 6:15, and that severe thunderstorm warning and that orange polygon until 6 o'clock. So, again, the worst of the weather continues to be in North Harris County at this time, pushing in the right towards Tomball right now, and then eventually into Magnolia. So if my best guess is sort of in that area. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but Magnolia to Cypress appears to be that window where this particular storm is headed. But we'll continue to watch it and watch it evolve. We've been watching it for the better part of an hour. Again, getting its origins way off the screen here, down on the southeast side of Harris County. It blossomed up out of nowhere very, very rapidly and started producing hail pretty quick. Pretty close to the downtown Houston area, moved right up the East Tex Freeway, took a left-hand turn, and is now crossing over the North Freeway and pretty much paralleling 290 as it continues to push into north and northwest portions of Harris County. So, again, if you're out here west of the North Freeway in Montgomery County, you may get clipped by this storm here within the next 15 to 20 minutes. But Klein, it is right on your doorstep right now, crossing through 1960, Champions, Old Oaks, getting into the Cypress area just to your east and just to the north of Jersey Village. So those are the areas that we're really honed in on at this present time. We also have a pretty good downpour there just to the east of Katy. This is also going to be along the Grand Parkway, just north of Cinco Ranch. And I'm noticing right there maybe a little bit of a hail core trying to develop. This is going to be just east of Katy, and this storm also moving on off towards the north and west. And I'll show you what that looks like here over the last hour. And there it is right there. So you can see it kind of blossoming up. Not expecting a whole lot out of this storm. It's getting pretty late in the evening now. We should begin to start seeing these storms decay a little bit as we're losing the heating of the day. But as they move towards the Katy area, you may see a quick downpour within the next 10 or 15 minutes. But again, the big storm that we're watching, look at that. Now we've got another hail core beginning to pop up now. This is Klein right here. Let me change the, there we go. So there you go. There's that hail core right there beginning to pop up just to the west and southwest of Klein, to the northeast of Corville, getting ready to cross over 99 where 249 crosses. And again, there's Tomball right there, northwest Harris County. Look out Decker Prairie as well, Pinehurst and Magnolia as it heads your way. Here's the Woodlands once again. I think the worst of the weather is going to pass just to your west and to your southwest. There's spring. Obviously, this storm pressing to the west and southwest of spring. You've got Splashtown up in here. So if you have friends or family at Splashtown, they're probably going to be okay, although they have probably gotten everybody out of the pools and off the water slides at this time due to the lightning in the area. Now, you'll notice that the lightning, very prolific, and then it disappears. The weather company that supplies our systems is aware that this is a glitch. So just because there's no lightning showing up does not mean that there's not lightning in this storm. There's lots of lightning in here. So the lightning data continues to flicker, pun intended, on and off. So you can't necessarily trust the lightning data. It's there. This storm very, very powerful, producing lots and lots of lightning, and it's producing some small hail as well. Pea size to as big as ping pong size. Now again, this storm is severe. We're seeing it pulse up once again, and we know that because we're seeing the pinks beginning to re-emerge here within the center of this cell just south of Klein, right along the 1960 corridor, and not too far away from Willowbrook Mall. So as we zoom on out a little bit, by the way, look at the anvil. You see here's the edge of the cloud right there. Look how this storm just exploded, and that anvil just taking over much of the Houston area. So pretty incredible to see, and just how big, just gives you an idea of just how big these thunderstorms really are. I mean, keep in mind, these things tower 50, 60, 70,000 feet into the air, and temperatures at that height, 50, 60 below 0 Fahrenheit. So very, very cold at the tops of these clouds, and it's an enormous thunderstorm here. We're talking about one of those classic mushroom-shaped type storms. Okay, so I'm just getting some information here. We've got the Bush ground stop that we were just talking about has been extended. The ground stop, here I'll just read you the text from the Houston airport system right now. The ground stop for IAH has been extended for an hour. Additionally, departure traffic is experiencing a gate hold and taxi delays between 46 minutes and 1 hour in length, and it's increasing. So again, any departures out of the big airport this evening are on hold, thanks in part to lightning in the area. Expect big delays up there at the airport. And increasing, according to the Houston airport system. So back to our thunderstorm here. Once again, look at the cloud just blow up like a mushroom here. So big, they're powerful, obviously producing some hail, lots of lightning, lots and lots of blinding rain. Now what's interesting is that there is a correlation between lightning and hail. You can't get lightning unless you have a charge in the cloud. Okay, well what causes the charge? Well, when you have ice crystals beginning to develop and you get these hailstones to develop inside the cloud, they bump into each other because, well, the cloud is loaded with hailstones. And as the updrafts and downdrafts are going and the hailstones are caught up, what are they doing? These hailstones are clinging into each other and they're bouncing around and they're banging into each other. Well, as these hailstones collide, you get little charges to pop off. You get the positive charges that go to the top of the cloud. You get the negative charges that go to the bottom of the cloud. And, well, the charges build up, and guess what? You get a discharge, and that's what we see as lightning. So when you have a lot of lightning, you probably can assume that there is a lot of hail in the cloud as well, because you can't get a lot of lightning without the ice. And that's the reason why, by the way, there's not a whole lot of lightning in hurricanes, because hurricanes are a very warm core system. You have a warm atmosphere, you don't get a lot of ice. You don't get a lot of ice, you don't get a lot of charges. No charge, no lightning, okay? So the more lightning you have in a storm, the more powerful it is, and the more hailstones that are probably inside that cloud. And check that out right now. Look at that hail core developing there just to the west and southwest of Klein. Zooming right on in once again, this severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6 o'clock. I'm going to zoom right on into Klein. And look at that. That's a nasty little hail core right there. Look at that pink spot beginning to develop right near Coresville. Here's 99. There's 249, and it looks like this is headed right for that intersection, 99 and 249, where they cross. Expect some hail in your area very, very soon. Give it about 5 minutes. Tomball, there you are, continuing to come up in conversation, and it looks like maybe this may skirt just southwest of Tomball. It may skirt just southwest of Tomball. We'll continue to watch it. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this flood advisory expanded up into your area as well. Expect a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain. So any low-lying areas that hold a lot of water, especially in a heavy downpour event, you can expect those roads to be to hold a lot of water here in the next couple of minutes as the storm continues to move in your direction. So speaking of Bush Airport, there it is right there. This is going to be on the north side of town. You can see the lightning beginning to build once again on the northeast side of Harris County. That is the reason why we have that ground stop, raining heavily at Bush Intercontinental Airport currently, showing no signs of letting up anytime soon. Let me zoom on out. We're seeing some heavy rain now developing near the Jersey Village area, out towards 290. So if you are headed out, here's the Beltway. Here's 290. There's the Beltway right there. And the heaviest of the weather just east of 290, just north of 290, pretty much right over Jersey Village. Satsuma, you're right on the edge of the heavy rain and getting up towards Willowbrook Mall and just getting ready to cross over into southern Montgomery County. So once again, there is the heaviest portion of that storm. But zooming on out, again, look at that anvil right there. It's just like a mushroom cloud blowing up right over Houston as these storms continue to fire up. Now, once we lose the heating of the day, it's 5:40, give it about another 45 minutes or so, we should begin to see these storms weaken as they continue to push towards Waller County, far northwest Harris County, southwest Montgomery County. Not a whole lot going on down here in Brazoria County, Galveston County, Chambers County. It's quiet there in Dickinson this evening. It's quiet in League City. It's quiet in Friendswood, quiet in Hitchcock. Little bit of rain down there towards Angleton and Freeport. Little bit of rain down there in Wharton County, Colorado County, Austin County, but the big news continues to be right there in central and northwest Harris County as this continues to push to the north and west, and we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about another 19 minutes. Let me check the National Weather Service here. And now we're getting reports of pea-size hail near Katy. And this was as of a few minutes ago. So those of you out near Katy, that storm we were just talking about, that storm also producing a little bit of pea-sized hail. In fact, let me show you what that looks like on radar. This is going to be out here on the west side. Doesn't look all that impressive to me. Maybe a little bit there right along the Grand Parkway, just north of the Katy Freeway. Right there is where we could have seen a little bit of pea-sized hail. And obviously it did happen because it's being reported here on the National Weather Service. We have direct contact with the National Weather Service, by the way. Think of like AOL Messenger or some kind of instant messenger that we used growing up. And that's kind of what we have with the National Weather Service. So we're able to type back and forth live with them, and they're able to transmit reports to us live as they come in. So we are getting some reports, some isolated reports of some pea-sized hail coming in out of the Katy area. But again, the big storm that we've been tracking for more than an hour now continues to be out here in northwest Harris County. And it appears that maybe that hail core, look at that big pink hail core has now diminished just northwest of Lowetta. That's good news, as it now is just crossing over to 99, the Grand Parkway, getting out towards Stagecoach. So again, Stagecoach, Magnolia, this is getting ready to cross over Spring Creek in about the next 10 minutes, and it'll be in your backyards in 15 or 20 minutes. So just a heads up on that. The storm appears to be weakening a little bit. I don't want to get too ambitious. I don't want to get too optimistic with this, but it does appear to be weakening slightly because we're not seeing a big hail core within this particular cell. And it looks a little bit more ragged than it did about 20 minutes ago. Again, there's Bush Airport right there. You can see very heavy rain, lots of lightning, but now keep in mind there is a glitch in the system, and the weather company that provides us our data knows about this, and you're going to see the lightning disappear and then it kind of reemerges again. So that's a little bit of a glitch, but just because you don't see lightning on here does not mean that the bolts aren't flying. They certainly are, and it's kind of a rough afternoon from Greens Point to Bush Airport out along 1960 all the way to Willowbrook Mall, Lowetta Road, FM 2920, 1960. 99, getting up almost to Spring Creek, and out there along 249 as well. So an active afternoon continuing. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6 o'clock. We'll continue to keep you updated on this as well. Of course, you can also follow me on Twitter at KHOUBlake11. I give all the latest information as it comes in. The minute a warning is issued, I go right to Twitter, and that's the first place we put it. So again, at KHOU Blake 11, you can follow me there. You can follow me on my Facebook page, Blake Matthews KHOU, and of course, we also do lots of live updates on YouTube, on our Twitter accounts, and of course, on Facebook as well. So that's the very latest that we have for you here on this particular cell. It does appear to be weakening. We do have that ground stop at Bush Intercontinental Airport. That's going to be going into at least for another hour or so. And they're saying that the delays up there at the big airport are increasing. So if you have a flight out of Bush Airport this evening, expect big time delays and increasing, that according to the Houston airport system. And we'll continue to watch this. So again, you can get the latest updates on my Twitter account. Of course, if there's any new information regarding this cell, we will be the first to let you know. Stay tuned and have a safe and dry evening, and have a great weekend if we don't see you. Until then, have a pleasant evening.